Hi, and welcome to another practice run for a 1 hour race. Today I'm going to be playing with a marauder. I haven't done one video of that yet. I've done a couple races as marauders. My level... where is he? Here somewhere. 48 marauder was a hardcore, weak race character. He died. It sucked. Tears were shed, and then I moved on. But we're going to be doing a test run of a 1 hour race today.
I am a warrior.
Marauder is compared to
fight,
go back
raised
to your
to
row.
defend my tribe.
Just shut up. Go away. Marauders are, in general, a little bit slower than other characters as far as racing goes, but they tend to be a little safer. You get a whole bunch of health nodes right away, so you get pretty beefy, and then level 9 or 10, you're actually able to grab a diamond skin node for plus 15% resist across the board. That, of course, helps a lot for Mervale, and also the fires, or the exploding squids in the Cavern of Anger, or Wrath. So there's a lot of good survivability things on the skill tree for the Marauder. Go ahead and create this quick.
I am a warrior.
Quick move.
I was born to fight,
Let's spell
raised
what
to
I want
defend my
correctly.
tribe. Now, I have been taken from my people.
So one of the big things to do with when you're racing is obviously the first and foremost is to stay alive. As you move through, you want to have a plan what you want to do. My plan is going to be simple. I'm not going to bother with any of the little side optionals. In an actual race, depending on if I find the flooded depths or not, I might decide to go down there based on if someone else has found it or how long ago they found it. If I find flooded depths and someone just went into it for the first time 5 seconds ago, it could potentially be worth heading down there to try and get the 2 bonus points for killing the Deep Dweller first. Otherwise, it's basically start, kill Hillock, get a coral ring, get your skill gem from Tarkley, more or less run through the terraces unless you get a big pack, get into the mudflats, grab the waypoint, get the runes from the nest, unlock the submerged passage, go into the submerged passage. If you happen to find the waypoint, the flooded depths thing aside, if you find the waypoint, teleport to the mudflats, go do mercy mission, get the medicine chest and whatnot off of the tidal islands. Otherwise, get through the submerged passage, get to the ledge, then go back and do mercy mission and get the medicine chest and all that. Farm the ledge once or twice. Run back from the waypoint, submerged passage, to the waypoint, then possibly going on, or do it a little more, depending on what you are at that point. Then you want to keep heading forward. You skip Kuduku on the ledge. He's just not worth the time, especially not on a melee character like a Marauder. As a witch or a ranger or something using ranged skills and attacks, you're actually able to kill Kuduku. It's a little slow, but it's doable. You're not going to get shotgunned to death by sparks and spark novas and get killed instantly. What else? So, rocky climb, you want to kind of more or less run through the area. Marauder gets fairly tanky usually by that point. You can actually stop and kill some stuff. You got to be wary of the skeleton packs. They do use Burning Shot, which basically nullifies any potion regen you would normally have. Skip the boss in that area. Again, a ranged character could potentially do it. A melee character probably could as well. Is it really worth it, especially considering there's generally a large pack of skeletons around it? Not really. Generally just run through Rocky Climb as quick as possible. Once in the lower prison, kill big packs as you move through. Ignore the named bosses again. I think it's Chatters, and then the upper prison has the Necromancer. Or the lower has the Necromancer and the upper has Chatters, which is the skeleton. I don't remember the order. You'll want to be 8 or 9 and have a bare minimum of 130 health by the time you find and get to Brutus. Otherwise, if you get smacked by his slam attack, you potentially will die outright with less than 130 health. As a Marauder, that's generally not a problem. As a Witch, for example, who doesn't have pretty much any health nodes at that point, you might be pushing it, so you just gotta be careful. You might want to grab an extra level just to push yourself over that. For the Brutus fight, it's reasonably straightforward as a Marauder. You just basically... you'll have probably around 200 health, So you can take a slam every so often. I generally will use Heavy Strike, since that'll be the highest DPS ability I have at that point. I'll use that for a little bit. My health gets to around 130. I'll back off, heal, and do that whole ground slam kite thing, which I'll be demonstrating as I go. And just, yeah. It's actually possible for Marauder to not have the town portal to fill your stuff back up, even though you're going to be in melee most of the time. It depends a lot on what flasks you find along the way. I've had it where I have not found a single flask by the time I got into Brutus, and I've had it where I'm running with like a full collection of mediums already. So random number generator is a very fickle mistress. Sometimes she's lovely and generous, and other times, well, I really hope you didn't want to have an easy run, because she ain't giving you crap. After Brutus, the Prisoner's Gate waypoint does activate automatically. You can just log out, log in quick, and get your skill gem from, I believe it's Tarkly. It might be Nessa, I don't remember offhand. And then when you use the waypoint, right into the Prisoner's Gate. The Prisoner's Gate is pretty similar to the Rocky Climb. You want to more or less run through it. You got to be careful about the goats and the wolves. The wolves are the Hellions. Hellions are actually in Rocky Climb also. I just kind of skimmed over them for whatever reason, but Hellions ignite the ground when they die, which will nullify your basically... It'll stop your flask regen. You use a flask, your health just kind of stops moving, but as they continue to hit you, your health will continue dropping, so you basically lose your regen. You can kill them if you just kind of kill them, step back, kill them, step back. You can avoid standing in the fire they leave. The goats, you have to be careful, just because they use Leap Slam, and you get too many near you at the same time, you get surrounded, and then you can't get away. The Marauder and I believe Duelist have the luxury of picking up Leap Slam sometime by that point, which can be quite handy in there also. You can jump across ledges, as I'll be doing, and also if you do by some odd chance get surrounded by goatmen, you can just Leap Slam out of them. It definitely beats the hell out of being stuck and surrounded and having to log out and run back from the most recent waypoint. There is a named Hellion wolf boss thing that hurts a lot. She's quick, she's painful. Skip her. You'll generally be 3-4 levels under at that point, so you don't want to mess around with her. Maybe not 3-4, 2-3 levels under level. So you don't want to mess around with her. What comes next? Ship Graveyard. You can get some nice levels in there. There is one thing to watch out for. The Mervale Daughter squids will cast vulnerability on you. When you have that on you, the Roas and Ghost Pirates hurt a lot. So you can kill groups when you're not cursed, but when you're cursed, even if they're real close to dying, you might just want to move on, because, Roas start knocking you all over loose luggage style. It's not going to end well for you. Fargraves is another optional. The Ship Graveyard Cove, or Ship Graveyard Cave, is full of Flicker Pirates. They hurt. It can be done. Is it worth doing? It's up to you, really. It is kind of risky to do it at that point, though. So, generally, you want to skip straight ahead to the coves. The coves, same deal. There's sand spitters and crabs all over the place that cast vulnerability on you when they hit you. So the crabs won't get it on you. The ranged sand spitters will get it on you occasionally. So just, again, if you have it on you, generally not a good thing to stand there and try and attack stuff. It does reduce your armor, health, regen from flasks, things like that. There are packs of zombies in there that are good for experience. They're slow and not really too dangerous. And the only problem with them is when they die, they leave a patch of tar. The tar slows down your movement. You get surrounded, you're not going to be able to get away very quickly. Even if you pop a Quicksilver flask, you're not going to get out of there too quick. So generally, you end up, as a ranged character, they're no big deal because you kill them from far away and you just don't run through it. As a melee, you're going to be pretty close to them most of the time. And if you're a duelist or a marauder and have the luxury of leap slam, you can leap slam out of it. So you kind of counter that disadvantage with it. Can you see where I'm going with this? Where leap slam is a really good ability? What else? Where are we? We're in the coves. Heading down then into the Cavern of Anger or Cavern of Wrath. I still never remember which is first. Skip Amarissa and Ambrosia. They're not really worth killing. There's too much health. They spit out exploding squids and they cast spells like crazy. The first cavern, just kind of run through, killing big packs of squids you run across, and just get to the end. Again, leap slam can be used as a shortcut to jump across bodies of water rather than going around. The second level, this is where if you happen to have found a ruby ring, you will want to wear it. The stupid exploding squids in there have ended many a run. There's a lot of terrain features that can hide some of them, so it might look like there's only one. You may not see any at all, but suddenly you run around a corner and just boom, 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 and you're dead. Not much you can do about it. There's also a lot of narrow corridors, and sometimes you can't just run past them and avoid them, because you get desynced and stuck next to them, and then it's boom, 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 and you're dead. I've had many of these happen, and many other people have had these happen, and it will happen many times in the future. Be very wary of that. There is a trick if you're in an open area with Quicksilver flasks, where if you use a Quicksilver flask and run directly next to them, they start to explode, and by the time they actually explode, you're too far away to get hit by the explosion. Desyncs notwithstanding. So that's a useful little trick you can do in a more open area. In a tight little tunnel, it's more likely you get stuck in a spot, so it's kind of like, ooh, yeah, I got stuck and killed. Yay. What else? Once you get to Marvel, by this point you should have 2 rings. Or, well, not 2. Not necessarily 2. As a Marauder, you can get away with 1. 2, it doesn't hurt. 2 will definitely let you tank her cold ranged abilities. 1, you'd probably tank it, especially as a Marauder. You'll probably have Diamond Skin at this point for plus 15%. Other characters with 1, if it's like a plus 27, 28, 29, 30, it could probably work. If it's like a plus 21, probably not going to cut it. You'll want that second ring. It's one of the things you got to kind of figure out and gauge what you need to do. But for the Marvel fight, generally the first part of the fight, you will want more health potions, because she will occasionally charge at you and try to melee you and cleave you in the face with her swords, and that hurts quite a bit. When the phase 1 fight is over, I will generally pop into town. If I have a second mana flask, I'll generally pop into town anyway just to refill while she's doing her little animation thing, because you can't attack her during that anyway. And then when you get back, she is able to be attacked, so you kind of just, instead of standing there waiting, you did something sort of productive. Generally though, you will want to, at that point, if you have it, grab a second or potentially third mana flask. Phase 2 is quite a bit easier, as long as you have some sort of AoE. Freezing Pulse may not cut it, I'm not entirely sure about it. Ground Slam definitely works, I know that for a fact. And you basically go back in, you clean up all the stuff running around, there's a bunch of squids all over the place, and then you just sort of gradually, slowly make your way towards her, and you attack Marvel from maximum range of Ground Slam. And as you attack her, you want to go ahead and just spam Ground Slam, keep it going constantly. You'll kill 90% of the exploding squids as they spawn before they get to you, so they're no threat like that, as long as you keep Ground Slam going. And you basically just stand there the entire time. You don't really take a whole lot of damage, and you just kill Merville. Again, grab your loot, you run out to the forest. I don't know if the logout trick works there. I'm not entirely sure. I think you might have to at least open the door. You don't have to actually step into the forest, but just if you want to play it safe, actually go into the forest. At this point, depending on how long into the race it's been, you have a couple different options. Farming the forest is viable. There's lots of monkeys all over the place, and they group up quite nicely. If you have probably 15 minutes or more, maybe 10 minutes or more as well, you want to find Forest Encampment as quick as possible and start heading towards Western Forest. 10 minutes might cut it close, you might not actually get there, but river crossings in Dark Forest are still pretty decent experience. 15 minutes, you definitely want to try for it. Western Forest is really good experience. There are the, the martyrs that run around. I forget which bandit is over there. But the martyrs, you can kind of, you don't really have to stop to kill. They're like the exploding squids, but you can avoid getting hit by them just by running past at normal speed. So it's a lot of sort of free experience you don't have to stop for. So as you progress and move forward, while you're farming in the Western Forest, it's a lot of free bonus experience, and there's a lot of decent sized packs and stuff like that in there. And for 1 hour, that's about all you'll be able to do. There's no opportunity really to go any further. So it really just comes down to if you're going to farm the forest, or if you're going to try to work your way towards the Western Forest. Either one works well. You'll end up doing that for the duration of the race. And hopefully that will serve you well. And this was originally supposed to be a test run for Marauder. I opened up the video as such, but I'm actually going to change up my plans and make this kind of a brief race overview video, just with some little clips stuck in. So I'm saying this afterwards. You're going to have seen this, so it's like, okay, why are you explaining what we just watched? So on that note, I hope this was helpful, kind of giving you some ideas on what to do. More in-depth stuff will be in some of the practice runs themselves. I might at some point do a beyond 1 hour mark video. I have only really had time to do one race that's been longer than that. I did 1 3 hour, and then I was playing in the 1 week on and off, because I could do that whenever. So I really don't have a lot of knowledge about what's good for the 2 or 3 hour races. And I haven't really had a chance to do many party races. The one party race I got into for a 3 hour, one of the guys died, like, in terraces or something, the Fire Fury, and rage quit and kicked me off the vent, and I ended up running with another guy from that same vent server. Yeah. So I'll be doing some research as time allows on some longer races, and I'll try to at least get a general map out, even if it's not like a perfect ideal thing to do. All that said, I hope this little video was helpful. Thanks for watching. Feel free to comment, rate, and/or subscribe, and have a great day.